Welcome students. Now we shall learn the second lesson in biozoology, Kingdom Animalia. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the basis of classification, classification of Kingdom Animalia, non-chordates, that is invertebrates up to the phylum level, and chordata up to the class level. Basis of classification. There are a varieties of living organisms on this earth. Multicellular organisms are structurally and functionally different from each other, but yet they possess a common fundamental features. They are the arrangement of the germ layers, the levels of organization, that is cellular grade, tissue grade, and organ system grade of organization, nature of coelom, presence and absence of the segmentation, notochord and organization of organ system. First we shall see the levels of organization. All the members of the kingdom Animalia are metazoans. That means they are multicellular animals and they exhibit different patterns of cellular organization. So among the metazoans, cells may be functionally isolated and similar kinds of cells may be grouped together to form the tissues. And these tissues will group together to form the organ, and organs will group together to form the organ systems. So cellular level of organization is found in sponges. Tissue level of organization is seen in cnidarians and ctenophores. Organ level of organization is seen in the platyhelminthes. Organ system level of organization is seen from the Aschelminthes to chordates. Animals such as sponges lack nervous system and muscle tissue. What does this tell you about the sponges? It tells that sponges does not have tissue grade of organization or organ system grade of organization. The grade of organization present in the sponges are only cellular level. The outermost layer is formed of pinacocytes and they are plate-like cells to maintain the size and shape of the sponge. Whereas the inner layer is formed of kyanocytes and these are the flattened collar cells that create and maintain water current that flows through the sponge, that's facilitating the respiration and digestion. So level of organization in sponges is cellular level only. Tissue level of organization in some animals like Hydra from coelentrates, cells aggregate to form the tissues. The tissue level of organization is exhibited in the diploblastic animals like cnidarians. Formation of the tissue is the first step towards the evolution of the body plan in animals. The next level is the organ level. It starts from the phylum Platyhelminthes. So here many types of tissues aggregate to form an organ to perform a specific function. The next one is the organ system level of organization. Here many organs will aggregate to form an organ system and this is seen from the Aschelminthes to chordata, and Platyhelminthes has only single opening to the exterior which serves both as the mouth and the anus. Hence they are incomplete, they are having incomplete digestive system, whereas the phylum Aschelminthes to chordata, all the animals are having complete digestive system with two openings, mouth and the anus. And the circulatory system is also of two types, open type and closed type. The blood will remain filled with the tissue spaces due to the absence of the blood capillaries in the case of the phylum like arthropod, mollusk, echinodermata and urochordata, whereas closed type is seen in the phylums annelids, cephalochordates and vertebrates. Here the blood is circulated through the blood vessels called arteries, veins and capillaries. How is the body plan in the animals? When the cells aggregate to perform a function, as in the case of sponges, that is it is having only cellular level of organization. In case of coelenterate and platyhelminthes, organ system level of organization is seen, in which platyhelminthes has only a single opening to the exterior and this single opening serves as the mouth as well as the anus. Hence they are having incomplete digestive system. Whereas the next one, tube within tube, they have two openings, mouth and the anus. So from the organisms of Aschelmanthus to Chordata, all the animals are having complete digestive system with two openings, mouth and anus. Based on the germ layers, the organisms are classified into diploblastic and triploblastic. Diploblastic animals are seen in the phylums Porifera and Coelenterata, whereas triploplastics are seen from the phylum Platyhelminthes to Chordates. During gastrulation, the blastula is converted into two germ layers. When the gastrula has only two germ layers, namely ectoderm and endoderm, we call it as diploplastic. So during the gastrulation, when the gastrula has three germ layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm, and in between if it is having the mesoderm, then it is having three layers, that is triploblastic organization. So diploblastic, in between the ectoderm and the endoderm, non-living layer is seen, that is mesoglia is seen. Whereas in the triploblastic, in between the endoderm and ectoderm, so another germ layer which is called as mesoderm is seen, and inside that you will have the digestive tract. So digestive tract is completely lined by the endoderm. Ectoderm gives rise to the organs like skin, hair, neuron, nail, teeth, etc. Whereas endoderm gives rise to the gut, liver and lungs. And middle mesoderm develop into muscle, bone, heart, etc. Symmetry. Symmetry means how the body parts are arranged in an organism's body. If the animal is not having any pattern, they lack a definite body plan. When the organs are irregularly placed inside the organism body, then we call this as asymmetrical. So any plane that is passing through the center of the body will not divide them into two equal halves. This asymmetry is also seen in the adult gastropods like snails. Next one is radial symmetry. So symmetrical animals have their paired body parts and they are arranged on either side of a plane passing through the central axis. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two equal halves, then we call it as radially symmetry. So radially symmetrical animals will not be having back or dorsal side or ventral side, but they will have the top and bottom side. And this is seen in the cnidarians. Example, sea anemone and corals. So whereas the pentamerous radial symmetry is seen in the triploblastic animals like echinoderms. They will have 5 planes of symmetry. And biradial symmetry is seen in the Ctenophora. So Ctenophora example comb jellyfish, where the animal will have only 2 planes. So one is longitudinal plane and another one is transverse plane. Animals which have two similar halves on either side of the central plane called as bilaterally symmetry. And this is advantageous type of symmetry in the triploplastic animals. So organisms from insects, they have the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry organism have dorsal and the ventral side in their body. So here we can see the asymmetrical organism, sponges which cannot be divided into equal halves at any plane. And second one, radially symmetry, hydra can be divided into equal halves at any plane that runs through the center. And bilaterally symmetry, which can be divided into two equal halves only at one plane, that is center plane. This is the diagram of comb jellyfish, which is having biradial symmetry, which can be divided into two equal halves only in two planes, one through the longitudinal and sagittal and another one through the transverse axis. Next we have body cavity or coelom. So coelom is nothing but the body cavity. If the true body cavity is present, then the organism is classified into eucoelomates. The body cavity is absent. If the animals do not possess the body cavity, then they are called as acoelomate. Example for acoelomate, flatworms from Porifera to flatworms or Platyhelminthes have no body cavity and they are called as acoelomates. Next type is pseudocoelomate, in which the animals will possess a false coelom. Example for this is roundworms or Ascalminthus. Fluid in the pseudocoelom acts as the hydrostatic skeleton and allows the free movement of the visceral organs for circulation of nutrition. The next one is called as eucoelomate. Eucoelomates are again classified into schistocoelomates and enterocoelomate. In schistocoelomate, the body cavity is formed by splitting the mesoderm. Schistocoelomate, the body cavity is formed by splitting the mesoderm. Whereas in enterocoelomate, the body cavity is formed from the mesodermal pouches. So these are the mesodermal pouches of the archenteron. So archenteron is nothing but the digestive tract. So these mesodermal pouches which are developing from the digestive tract will separate from the gut and they will form pouches out of the gut forming the coelom, and this is what is called as enterocoelomate, true body cavity. Based on the presence of the segmentation, the organisms are classified into metameric and pseudo-metameric. So metameric, true segments are present. The body is divided into segments like this. Example for this, annelids, arthropods. So whereas pseudo-metamerism, which is seen in the tapeworms, the true segmentation is absent in these cases. That means the body wall may be externally divided into segments, whereas the organs which are internally present placed in all the segments together, they are not divided as per the segments. Then it is pseudo-metamerism. Whereas the metamerism, the organs which are developing from the mesoderms are also arranged according to the segments, and the segments work at different units. Segment work in coordination with all the other segments. Example for this is Annelida, Arthropoda and Chordata. Notochord, if the rod-like structure notochord is present, then they are called as chordates. If they are absent, then they are called as non-chordates. So chordate example, urochordates, cephalochordates, the classes of the chordata. Non-chordates, porifera to hemichordates are non-chordates. Notochord is developed from the mesoderm. So this is the notochord which develop at the back of the organism, above which you will have the nerve cord. So notochord and nerve cord together form the spinal cord and the vertebral column in the higher chordates. Now let us get into the classification. Animal kingdom is divided into two subkingdoms, namely Parazoa and Eumetazoa. Parazoa include all the multicellular sponges. Here the cells are loosely aggregated and they are not formed into tissues or organs. Whereas Eumetazoa, they are multicellular organs whose cells will aggregate to form the tissues and tissues will organize to form the organ and organ systems. And this includes two taxonomic levels, namely grades. These grades are Radiata and Bilateria, and Bilateria consist of Protostomia and Deuterostomia. This is the outline classification of animal kingdom. So kingdom Animalia, multicellular organisms are classified into cellular level and tissue, organ system level. So according to the symmetry, it is classified. The cellular level does not have any symmetry, it is asymmetrical, whereas the tissue grade and up to the organ system grade of organization, it is divided into radial and bilateral. Radial symmetrical animals will have two phylums, namely Coelenterata and Ctenophora. Coelenterata are Cnidaria and Ctenophora. And they will possess two germ layers. They are diploplastic. Ectoderm and endoderm are separated by jelly-like mesoglia. So the second grade is called as bilateria. So body is bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploplastic. Triploplastic organisms are classified based on the body cavity or the coelom into three. Without the body cavity, that is acoelomate, comprises of only single phylum, namely Platyhelminthes. So with false coelom or pseudocoelom, that is the coelom which is not present in the mesodermal cells, it is lined by the mesoderm one side and another side with the endoderm, then it is called a pseudocoelomates. Phylum Ascalminthus belongs to this category, and with true coelom, and the last one is that with true coelom, when the animal possesses true body cavity which is lined by the mesodermal cells on both the sides. So this will comprise of all the other phylums, namely Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Now the non-chordates or the invertebrate phylums are Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Ascomynths, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. So all this you got to memorize in order. Phylum Porifera first. Now they are multicellular and diploplastic. Outer layer of cell is called a spinocoderm. They are having non-cellular mesenchyme and inner layer of cell is called cyanocytes or the cyanoderms. They are all aquatic. They live in the sea water. They are hermaphrodite. That means both the sex organs are present in the same organism. Presence of collar cells or the cyanocytes and archaeocytes are seen in porifera. That is a canal system which will assist the excretion, nutrition, respiration and reproduction. Reproduction through gemmules and they are present in a larval form which is called as parenchyma and amphiblastula larva. The skeleton is made up of calcareous spicules and siliceous spicules. They are secreted by the scleroblast cells. This is a picture of the sponges. This is the gastric cavity or the enteron, and this is lined by a special type of cells called inner lining of the cells called kyanocytes or collar cells. And these collar cells will have flagellum. By vibrating this flagellum, they will be able to make the water current inside the archenteron and catch them, prey for them, as well as they will respire through it. And the spicules are seen. These are the spicules which are secreted by the scleroblast cells. Next phylum is called Cnidaria or Coelenterata. So before it was called as Coelenterata, now it is termed as Cnidaria. So they are also solitary colonial or free living. Solitary means they are fixed and they live in group, colonial, or sometimes they are free living. The name Cnidaria is derived from the cnidoblast cells or the stinging cells. Otherwise it is called as nematocyst. Cnidoblast cells are used to capture the food, as well as it is used as a defense organ and anchorage. These organisms exhibit metagenesis. That means they have two phases in their life. One is sexual phase, which is called as medusa, and asexual phase, which is called as polyp. Polyp produce the medusa asexually and medusa forms the polyp sexually. The development is indirect and they have larval forms, namely planula and ephira larva. Physalia or Portuguese man of war is an example which will exhibit this polymorphism, polyps and medusa. Stinging cells, nematocysts, they are used for food capture, defense as well as attachment. Stinging cells or cnidoblast cells are present here. The stinging cells will have the sting which will discharge a poisonous material that will paralyze the prey or the predator. Cnidarians are the first group of animals that exhibit tissue level of organization, and they are diploplastic. They have the vascular cavity which is called as coelenteron and only one opening, that is mouth or hypostome, which will serve the process of ingestion, egestion, etc. Cnidarians will have coral-like skeleton and it is made up of calcium carbonate. Ctenophora. Next phylum is Ctenophora. They include comb-like ciliary plates, swimming organism. They are exclusively marine and biradial symmetry is seen. The special adhesive cells called coloblast cells are seen, and they use this adhesive cell for capturing their prey. So mesoglia is provided with amoebocytes. Amoebocytes can move about, and the smooth muscle cell. And they have two anal pores. Bioluminescence is the ability of the organism to emit light, which is well marked in ctenophores. Ctenophorans possess sidipid larva, example Plurobranchia and Ctenoplana. They possess 8 external rows of ciliated comb. That's why they are called as comb jellyfishes. Next we have phylum Platyhelminthes. They include flatworms. Their body is dorso-ventrally flattened and hence they are called as flatworms. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic acoelomate with the organ system level of organization. They have ladder-like nervous system and the fertilization is self-fertilization. Digestive tract is incomplete and regeneration is seen in this group of organism. Flame cells are used for excretion. They are monoecious, sexes are not separate. Fertilization is internal and development through the larval stages, namely Miracidium larva, Sporocyst, Radia and Cercaria larva. Flatworm. They have the ladder-like nervous system. Example Teniasolium fasciola hepatica, that is liver fluke. Cystosoma blood fluke. Phylum Ascalminthus comprises of roundworms. They are previously named as nematodes. Body of these organisms are circular in cross section and hence they are named as roundworms. They are free living or parasites on aquatic or terrestrial plants and animals. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, pseudocoelomate animals with organ system level of organization. The body is unsegmented and it is covered by transparent, tough, protective collagenous layer called cuticle. So cuticle is present. Alimentary canal is complete with well developed mouth as well as muscular pharynx and anus. Excretory system consists of rennet glands. Fertilization is internal. Example Wuchereria. Roundworm causes disease called filariasis, elephantiasis. Phylum Annelida. They are the first segmented organism, metamerically segmented. And nephridia is used for excretion and osmoregulation. They have the respiratory pigments like hemoglobin and chlorochlorine in plasma. CT are present for locomotion. They are the paired appendages in every segment of the body. They possess hydroskeleton. Digestive tract is complete with mouth and the anus. Nervous system consists of nerve ring and nerve cord with ganglia. They have the tactile receptor for identifying the external environment, gustoreceptor for tasting, and photoreceptor to identify the temperature and light, statocyst for their maintaining their body position, and they are either unisexual or bisexual. Some are monoecious like earthworm and some are dioecious like nereis and leech. And the development is indirect or direct. If it is indirect, it is with the tocopher larva. This is the diagram of earthworm. So this is the gut, brain, nervous system and the ganglion. Hydrostatic skeleton is seen. Phylum Arthropoda. Arthro means jointed and poda means legs. So these organisms will have jointed legs and they release pheromones. So pheromones are the different sort of smells out of their body. And hemocoel is present in their body. The respiration takes place by trachea or spiracles. Trachea, gills, book lungs, book gills. So respiration is very. They have the spiracles or the air holes on the external surface of the body for the exchange of the gases. Their body is bilaterally symmetry, segmented, triploblastic organism and schizocoelomate animals with organ system grade of organization. Excretion and osmoregulations are by the antennary glands and Malpighian tubules. Coxal glands are also present for excretion. Digestive tract is complete with the mouth and the anus and the blood vascular system is open type. They do not possess any blood vessels. Sexes are dioecious, male and the female separate. They show parental care and also parthenogenesis is seen in honeybees. Phylum Arthropoda include the large class called Insecta and they have the total species of about 2 to 10 million species are seen in this phylum. They are oviparous. Fertilization is internal, usually internal. Development may be direct or indirect. They have the compound eyes which is called the somatoidea. And another important process that is called as ecdysis. The body is covered by chitinous exoskeleton for protection. To prevent the water loss, they will shed off this exoskeleton periodically by the process called molting or ecdysis. Body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen. The body cavity is called hemocoel. So development is direct or indirect. If it is indirect, they will undergo many larval stages like larva, pupa, etc. That is called metamorphosis. Examples for Arthropoda: Limulus, which is considered as the living fossil; scorpion, centipede, millipede, crab, lobster, beetles. Some economically important insects like honeybee, bombyx, that is silk moth, Lacifer laca, that is lac insect, are all coming under this phylum. Phylum Mollusca. So mollusca are soft-bodied organism. Their body is covered by the mantle. Mantle covers the body and mantle is surrounded by the shell. The nervous system consists of the cerebral, visceral and pleural pedal ganglia. So cerebral in the head, visceral region in the body cavity and pleural in the lungs and pedal in the legs. So they have ganglia, aggregation of the nervous tissue in all these regions. And hemocoel is present. Hemocoel is nothing but the cavity which is filled with body fluid or blood like fluid. Hemocoel is present, digestive tract is complete, and the blood contains hemocyanin, that is a respiratory pigment which is present in the mollusk, which is blue in color. Hemocyanin is a copper containing respiratory pigment. That's why they say this organism have blue color blood. Respiration is affected by gills, mantle and pulmonary sac. So excretion by kidneys and the gills. Omatophores or ospiradium are present. So what are these omatophores? So omatophores are used for vision. They are the cells used for visions, and ospiridium, this is used for testing the purity of water. So this is also present in all the bivalves and gastropods. So bivalves are nothing but the shelled organism, and the development is indirect with veliger larva. Mouth parts, the digestive tract is complete and the mouth will have a rasping organ which is called as radula. So radula will have the transverse rows of chitinous teeth. So this is the chitinous teeth which is present in the radula. Excretion takes place through nephridia. Example for this phylum is Phyla globosa, that is the snail, apple snail. Lamellidans, that is mussel. So what we call as the kilingelgal in the sea, and pinctata, that is a pearl oyster. Oyster, sepia, cuttlefish, lollygo, squid and octopus devilfish belong to this phylum. Phylum Echinodermata. They are the spiny skinned organism. They have the spines or pedicellariae on their body, and so they are called as echinoderms. The most distinctive feature of echinoderms is the water vascular system or ambulacral system. So this is connected with the tube feet which is called podia. This helps in the locomotion as well as capturing and transporting the food and respiration. They have bilaterally symmetrical larvae and the adults are radially symmetric. The digestive tract is complete with the anus on the oral side and mouth on the aboral side. Respiration is affected by the dermal branchiae. They have no specialized excretory organs. So nervous system consists of the nerve rings. Sexes are separate. They show autotomy. Autotomy means when there is a danger, they will cut themselves into pieces and they escape. As well as regeneration is also seen. So they can regenerate like the lizard's tail. When they cut during the time of danger, it can regrow it. Similarly, they can regenerate their arms, etc. Even if they are cut into many pieces, they can each can regenerate into a complete starfish. So they have remarkable power of regeneration. Example for this is starfish, that is Astrias, sea urchin, sea cucumber and brittle stars. So here you can see the anus on the oral side and mouth on the aboral side. They have the water vascular system, that is ambulacral canals. These are the tube feet, stomach and the digestive system.